You don't throw the whip out and just let the thing touch them like a sticky hand, like one of those slapping sticky hands. You don't be doing that shit. You gotta retract, man. You gotta put some force into it.
Yeah.
Wrist. Well, no, you don't want to use your wrist, because you use your wrist, you start getting the wrist fucked up, man. You gotta use your elbow, your shoulder, and then you go more into it to teach you how to lean off with your feet, man.
Right.
That's why I tell you be light on your feet, because not only do you gotta move, but you gotta strike. And they'll show you that in the fight science movies or documentaries where they do like they had like the capoeira artists, they had the taekwondo and the kickboxer and all these different dudes, and they're showing that how they generate their force from the ground up.
That's a lot, bro. Earlier you said you use your wrist when you punch.
No, I'm saying wicked niggas or dumb niggas use their wrist when they punch.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. A lot of you people that don't know how to punch, you use your wrist.
Yeah.
Well, just like when you
right, or you put it all into your knuckles without really knowing what you're doing, man. Right.
I was gonna say something.
That's why you see whenever a bitch or a little kid hits you, they go like this and they punch you with their wrist. They just fuck their shit up.
A lot of fat people punch like that too. Getting on Alizé. It reminds me of them wicked niggas that was trying to kill Paul. They was like, we ain't gonna eat or drink nothing until we kill Paul.
Right.
And what happened? They didn't kill Paul, so
right.
Did they just commit suicide then?
Right.
But
you don't hear about them again.
Yeah.
They had no integrity.
Yeah.
They weren't men of their word, man.
Yeah. If they was men of their word, they would have told somebody to off them.
That's why the scripture says, rather let us say Lord willing.
Yeah. Right.
Lord willing. That's right. Yeah. He never said Lord willing. You know what I'm saying? Behind his vow.
Because you don't know if you're gonna make it to see Yahweh Shai.
Right.
So for you to be that damn bold and say I'm not gonna come right here till Yahweh Shai returns, that's not something that you would say in the spirit, man.
Right.
And so
that's over righteous, man.
Yeah. That's
being over righteous.
Yeah.
And that's how you know he cares about his image, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that hair shit, man.
This is Ecclesiastes 5:4. It says, when thou vowest a vow unto the Most High, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. And that's a foolish thing to.
Right.
No elder that I know of made a vow of a Nazarite, took the vow of a Nazarite,
Like that, if they did, they cut their hair for the Passover. Just like Paul. Paul took the vow, but he's shorn his head, man.
For a period of time, man.
Right, it's for a period of time.
Annually.
Right. Right. If you never cut your hair, you're a Nazarite from the womb. There's a Nazarite by vow and a Nazarite from the womb. There's a big difference. You saw that in that movie, in that show, The Bible. It was I think it was the second part with Samson, and with the traitorous bitch. Here it is. He tried to confide in his woman, which goes to show you can't trust these women, man. You can't tell them nothing. That's why Elder McCall said what he said. You can lie to these bitches, man, because you don't have to let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, and you just dwell with them according to knowledge, man. Like there's this heathen Muhammad Gandhi, this damn heathen Gandhi. This guy was having sex so much with his wife that he didn't have time to teach her to read. He kept telling him to teach her to read, but he fucking her so hard, so much, he never taught her to read. And that was from the age when he was like 16, all the way up until he was like 20 or 30. So that's what women are for. It's for sex, man. You don't gotta teach them shit. Not like that. You can if you want, but you don't have to deal with them like that. So you get this guy that everyone talks about, the male Mother Teresa, but you don't know the guy. You don't know the guy, and that's why Al-Mashab Allah got so mad that one night, because he said he's yelling at us like, man, not only yelling at us, but yelling at everyone in general. A lot of you guys, you don't even know the elders, man. You don't talk to them on a daily basis. I don't even talk to them on a daily. But I'm not a phone guy anyway. And when I chop it up with brothers, I chop it up. If the Spirit's on me, sometimes it'll be a long conversation, but a lot of times I'm in and out. Hey, what's going on? All right, shalom, and I'm out. If we get into a topic, hey, I'm all for it, but I'm not just gonna sit there and be on the phone all willy-nilly.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, and the elders, and when you see, you know, is what you get, and what you don't see is what you don't understand, man. A lot of guys think that because they've been watching the elders for so long, they have some kind of inclination on how they live, man, or how they operate amongst each other. When you don't, man, you never experienced it, so you don't know, man. You know, I know we're changing gears constantly, man, but that's what it means to be in the Spirit, because the scriptures say the Spirit moves like the wind. And when you look up the Most High's name and you start looking into it, like Elder Tahar was going into, it would blow a lot of our minds, man. And you know, what little research I did into it, with what the Spirit revealed to me, is it just kind of showed and made manifest how the Most High is, you know, is an all-knowing, all-balanced, constantly balanced, moving spirit, man. Like a whirlwind. He's constantly, you know, balanced at all times, man. And to be balanced at all times, they call it what, a centrifugal force or rotation. Because all things spin. Everything is spinning all the time. Everything is always spinning. That's why it says the Spirit moves like the wind, because there's that rotational force. Okay, and there's space makes up 99.9% of all things. The 0.1% is only tangible matter. So what's that mean? Everything is in spirit, man. That's why I said you gotta have the faith of a mustard seed, man. To be able to understand that small concept on a small scale, you'll be able to do the larger things on the larger scales, man. Like, you're never actually touching anything. Nothing ever touches. For you to actually touch something means that there would be some kind of like molecular reaction, or there'd be fusion. You would be melded and stuck with it. You know. Think about like when you walk through a wall, you don't touch it when you walk through a wall. It's kind of like a nail in a fabric. What the nail does is it pierces and it moves the fabric away. It moves the molecules away, and you just move through it.
Right.
That's how it would be in the kingdom when we have full ability and control to just pass through objects, man. You know?
Yeah, centrifugal force, from Latin centrum, meaning center, and Peter, to seek, or P-E-T-E-R-E, Peter. Peter to seek, is a force that makes a body flow and curve, curved path. Its direction, makes a body follow a curved path. It directs, its direction is always orthogonal to the velocity of the body toward the fixed point of the instantaneous center of curvature of the path.
It's just like how objects move in space. They move spirally. They're moving forward. They'll tell you that our planets and shit stay on one plane and are moving like this. No, we're actually corkscrewing through reality. We're actually corkscrewing, man. Why do you think you can draw water up? You go right now to Seattle Science Center, and they got a corkscrew in the water. It's called the Archimedes screw. Okay, now you screw it, and what it does is it brings the water forward, because that's how all things move, is forward in a spiral. That's how all things move, right? Now, that's getting into the spirit of things, man, because the river is the spirit is constantly moving. So all this bullshit that the society deems as knowledge is not knowledge. It's practical sense to the wise and ancient men of the past, man. This is our heritage, to be the rulers of the fucking universe, man. So that's why the elders stress. You got to get into this Hebrew. You got to get into our Greek. You got to understand what words mean, the etymology. See, you got free education out there on the internet and in the libraries, but what do a lot of you peons do? You go to trade schools, because you're just worried about a job and a 9-to-5 when your own economy is collapsing down around you. March 23rd, Obama's gonna push the RFID chip.
That's right.
Your own Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, says you're supposed to be paid in gold and in silver. You people get paid in a Federal Reserve note or in a check that's direct deposited and transferred into your account. You people are dumb. And then you sell all your cash for your gold for cash, your silver for cash, your precious metals for cash. And then when you get a cell phone and you want to throw it away, they tell you don't throw it away. Why? Because there's gold in there. They want you to recycle it so they get the gold back. They get all the titanium and any kind of zinc and copper back because there's money, man. There's money. That's why these iPhones are so expensive, man. It's not expensive because the technology is small and the capabilities. That's just all silicone, man. The way silicone works, it's like a block of cheese. No matter how many times you slice it, guess what? It's still fucking cheese. Now, I forget the term for it, but if it's like, if I took this Snapple bottle, right, and I shattered it, is it gonna turn into a million Snapple bottles? No, it's gonna turn into a big fucking mess, right? So silicone is one of those devices that, one of the very few devices that you can constantly cut it down smaller and smaller and smaller, and it still retains what it is. There's not a whole lot of objects out there like that. The only ones I know of. You don't got no question, Devil. No, you don't, Devil. Where's your beard, Devil?
Question.
Devil, where's your beard? That's a mustache. Where's your beard, Devil?
Listen to my
You don't got a question. You don't got a question.
Let me ask
You don't got a question. All right, ask you.
What is the gospel of Jesus Christ?
Hold on.
Right
Come deal with us.
How you gonna ask the question?
Come deal with us.
Make your calls.
Hey, the wicked flee when no man pursue.
Right.
Damn demon.
See, you don't got no question because you don't want the answer. You fucking asshole. You see what I'm saying, man? These guys, what is the gospel? We'll come back. But first of all, who is the gospel sent to you, dumbass?
All right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, these peons want to ask dumb, simple questions, but they don't even understand what the fuck they're asking, man. And just like 2 weeks ago, we saw these assholes in the same parking garage that we park at, all praying out in fucking public, man. Why don't you do that shit at home? With your vain-ass repetitions, man. Go do your wickedness at home, man. Why you ought to bring it to the street?
This is Matthew 10 and 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into, Salaki, if I can say this, the spirit moves like the wind. If you want to get that in John 3, like the first, one of the first 8 verses, you know, Salaki. Matthew 10 and 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and say, and as ye go, preach saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's the gospel, man.
Right. Man, the good news, the gospel, the good news is that all you so-called white people are going to be put into slavery.
Right.
And after your slavery, you're going to be exterminated. Thus saith the Lord.
Right.
You got to go through what we went through. Karma doesn't skip you because you're fucking white, so-called white, you red devil.
Fat.
Karma don't skip races, man. Karma is colorblind. You always want to talk about, oh, I'm colorblind. Well, guess what? So is karma, you dumbass. Karma is colorblind too.
That's right.
All right. So the spirit, man. You see how the spirit constantly moves and changes, and you got to be able to live in that mighty wind. You ever see that? And you know, it's kind of the spirit that movie came out, The Great and Powerful Oz, right? The Great and Powerful Oz came out, and the city that he was destined to save, the prophet, the poor man that was sent to save the city was called the Emerald City. Okay, now I started going back. I'm doing this training for OSHA, this OSHA training. Okay, now in my free time, I went to the library, and I was looking up things dealing with the pineal gland, right? And part of it, I read a side piece to the other page. I just kept reading. It was dealing with colors. It said red. It said the color red is more for like a short-term energy. And the color green is for long-term energy. And now it just had me thinking like, well, Yahweh Shai, you know, he got the body like the barrel. That's a long-term energy. The Emerald City, you know, that's like Yahweh Shai's city. You know, I was equating it to, and that's, you know, Yahweh Shai got to be in rule. The Emerald City, yeah, New Jerusalem is going to be a continuing city, man. You know, and then you got all these assholes out here wearing green for St. Patrick's Day, perverting things like that, man. You see, and those are the things that, you know, like Elder Ramla say, man, like we don't got to worry about this right now. In the kingdom, we'll have full, clear, perfect understanding. You know, now there's nothing, now, you know, the whole color thing, colors, it depends on who you talk to and, you know, and what aspects they bring into it, because color is nothing more than, you know, waves of light, you know, that are bouncing and reflecting, and your eyes just picking them up and actually sending them to your pineal gland to process, man. That's where your soul is. Your spirit is right there. And your pineal gland, believe it or not, is actually in the shape of like a pine cone, which is the symbol of life, is the shield of David.
Like you said, man, on the TV, what, it got 3 colors, right?
3 colors, the primary colors, red, blue, and
green.
yellow.
Yellow.
No, it's green. You're right. Red, blue, and green. No.
It's yellow.
It's yellow.
I think
It's
it's
yellow.
green. I think it's green.
Yeah, look it up real quick so we don't just type in primary colors. I think it's red, blue, and yellow.
Might be
I think it's red, blue, and yellow.
If I can say this real quick, when you think about it,
Blue and yellow makes green. It's red, yellow, and blue. It's a lot.
hey, when you look at the color green, what's it represent? Life. What are we in? We're birth.
Right.
Yeah.
New beginning.
Spring.
New Jerusalem.
Yeah. You know, green represents life, man. Yeah, it is a spirit that quickeneth. It's the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that makes you alive, man. All right, so if you equate us on the road, people on the road, as a color, a spiritual color, we'd be green. Because we got life through Yahweh Shai, man, that living water, man.
Right.
These people in the world, man, they're fucking black, man.
They used to call, you know, the Southern Kingdom, they used to call them blue men. They used to call them blue. You know, that was like an old Norse or Viking term. They would call, you know, the Southern Kingdom, or you know, Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, they call them blue. You know, and even now in this time, the darker someone is, they'll be like, man, that bitch look purple, or that bitch look green, or that bitch blue.
The Hamite we see,
Elamite.
Oh, the
Elam.
Yeah, she was purple.
She was purple. She had on purple too. She looked just like her clothes.
She looked like a skinny version of that Willy Wonka bitch. You know, that blueberry bitch.
Yeah, she turned to a big ass blue.
Yeah, Violet.
Yeah.
Let me bring this out real quick. This is John 6 and 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing.
Right, the spirit quickeneth. Well, that word quickeneth means make alive. It's the spirit, the force, okay, the movement of electricity and molecules that makes us alive. And even more than that, our belief, man. The spirit, our belief, because you go into 2nd Ezra, it tells you they will believe on me, they have not seen me with their own bodily eyes. We haven't seen no prophets, yet we call our sins to remembrance, and we believe, man. That's who the Most High is dealing with, man. He's dealing with minds that are able to be spiritual. That's why it says a spiritual man judgeth all things. Why? Because you gotta understand all the aspects of both parties. You gotta understand, okay, you know, why did that occur, okay? And then, you know, what was your motive? What was the end result? What were you trying to get out of it, man? You got. That's why when David, not David, it's a lot. When Daniel, or even David, but when Daniel was dealing with the those two wicked elders, he separated them, right? And he dealt with them and asked them very important questions, man. To see what if their story rang true, if they were still in this, you know, what their spirit was in.
If I can say this, and he asked them what kind of tree they were under.
Yep. One was a mastic, and the other one's like a home tree or something.
Tree. Yeah, that's a mastic and a home tree. You know, and what do trees represent? Life. You know, so they both had two different type of trees that they associated themselves being under, and it wasn't the tree of life, so to say.
Right, and trees even represent people.
Yeah, it wasn't this. They didn't have this. They wasn't in the spirit. They didn't have the spirit on them.
They weren't like-minded.
Yeah.
Because if they were like-minded, they would have been under the same tree and said the same tree.
Yeah.
All right.
You know.
Yep.
So you know, it's very spiritual, man. These scriptures are very spiritual, and it makes it easier to understand when it's read in its own language. It's even less of a mystery. You know.
This is Proverbs chapter 13, verse 14. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death.
Read that again.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 14. The law of the wise is a fountain of life.
The law of the wise is a fountain of life, meaning these commandments, man. The scriptures tell you, and Peter's, what was that, 2 Peter 1:20, that holy men, or the men that wrote these scriptures.
Right. It came not by the will of man, but by holy men, which were moved by the Spirit.
Yeah, spoke as they were moved by the Spirit. You know, that's holy men wrote these. So guess what? Moses was a wise man.
Noah was a prophet and a wise man.
You got.
No, go ahead. Add up to your word.
Slack. You know. Yeah, you know, brothers. You know, that's just Jake's spirit.
Yeah, I gotta shut up.
My spirit's like it. But you know, hey, somebody drop something?
No.
Yeah, the holy men are wise, man. And you know they're wise because these the same words that the Most High put in their spirit to write down for us to learn from today, like it tell you in Romans 15:4. You still got people that don't even believe in the Bible that read the Bible. So those are wise words, man. That's a fountain of life, man. Everybody wants to knock the Bible and say that the Bible has no credibility or it's just good stories, some good stories here and there. That's crap, man.
Inspiration.
Yeah. You don't. No other book on the planet Earth has more people intrigued. You don't have everybody tries to mimic Israelites, but you don't have a mass amount of Israelites that dig into Buddhism, saying, you know, well, I mean, you do got some bugged out niggas that, you know, but you don't got a lot though. But every nation on earth, the white man, the Japanese man, Korean man, Arab, African, it don't matter, man. They all have a large percentage of their nation that dig into the Bible, even though they don't believe. You know, they know in their spirit that this Bible is the ultimate authority, man.
It's the #1 selling book every year.
Yeah.
#1 bestseller is the Bible, man.
I'm gonna read why. This is John 6:63, and why this is the ultimate authority, and like the brother said, it's the bestseller. John 6:63, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that this is the point. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So you're seeing spirit and life when you read these scriptures. That's only if the Most High put the spirit on you to understand, man. But this is like the scriptures is like that. Who's that? The sword is a story I forget.
Sword in the stone.
The sword in the stone. The only people who's gonna be able to pull the sword up out the stone is the elect, the 144,000, the 1/3. But all these other people pick up the Bible and they like, I can't get it. To hell with it, man. To hell with it, you know. And they just cast it as away as nothing, man.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Because they rely on their own strength rather than their faith, man. You see, in faith, you know, it tells you what faith is the evidence of things hoped for.
Substance of things hoped for.
Con.
That's a lot.
So faith is something you can see, man. You can see it, meaning you can perceive it. You can't see it as you see this wall or this brother's garment. You can't see it as a tangible thing, but you can see it with faith, man. That's why these women, they don't have faith, man. They're without faith. Yeah, they're feminine. Right.
I got that for you real quick. This is Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Right, the evidence of things not seen. So we can't really stand here, right? And see everything spinning, right? But we know that it is. We understand how the Spirit. If you look at a flag right now, how windy it is. Go ahead and look at that the flag over there. You can see the wind moving. You can see the wind moving, but you can't see the wind. You see the effects of it. That's like the word. That's like the words of the Most High. They don't go out void. It's gonna go, move, and do whatever He says it's gonna do. That's why it says the deceived and the deceiver are His. Good and bad belong to Him, man. It's perfect balance. Perfect balance.
So
We in this incarnation, no brothers that I know have ever been to outer space and saw the globe rotating like that. But we know that the earth isn't flat through faith, man.
Right.
These people believe in the Constitution. They wasn't there when them crackers was drafting that shit up.
Right.
But they believe because that's what they have faith in.
You know what? There's another thing too. These scientists, they'll say that there's stars being born and dying all the time. You know why they say that? It's because we're moving. We're moving away from old ones, so-called older ones, to newer ones. And who knows if our path is doing this and we're gonna see something that they saw 2,000 years ago, we'll see it now because the way our path is gone.
Right.
Who knows? You know what I'm saying? That's one of those things that we'll have a clear understanding on in the kingdom. But if you know everything's moving, why are you still finding new stars and then all these old ones? Because we're fucking moving. It's like on the highway when you see fucking lights at night. And you say, oh, those lights are gone. There's a bunch of more lights up there. Damn, the road must be expanding. It must be growing. We're out here on the road. This is weird. How do the road's just magically like in a video game or the Matrix. Everything's just loading before you see it.
Yeah. Oh, the old school racing games. It kind of looked like you was always going up that curve.
Right, and it's loading.
All you see is this cactus
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like old racing games from PlayStation 1, Gran Turismo. You'd be driving, it'd be all bitty and foggy, and the closer you get, it's all crispy and clear in front of you. But far down, you can't see shit. That's how these crackers imagine life, man.
Base men.
Yeah, base men. They don't understand the reality of it, man. They're not spiritual men. You got that in Peters?
Yeah. I was just gonna say,
Did you have
like,
more? Did you have more?
like they never taken the thought how they be finding new planets and shit. Like the brother said, man, we're moving, you know?
Yeah.
But this is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Verse 1. This second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you.
Right, so see, man, the prophets, the disciples, the holy men, they only cared about a select, small sanctuary, man. They only care about a few good men. Okay? So he don't, fuck the fall. He's not talking about our dearly departed Judas Iscariot. All right? He fuck these guys, man. Go ahead.
In both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance.
I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance. See, there's certain things in our spirit that we never had a likeness to do, man. Whether it was sleeping with our friend's woman, whether it was, cutting ourselves in the flesh.
Right.
Right, eating certain abominable things because